Thank you for your time this morning. And look, Dnister has been around for about 65 years now. So it was first established by migrants that came from Ukraine to Australia, sort of post World War II. It started off sort of through the churches and through the Catholic Church in particular as a self-help organisation. And over time it evolved to become today what it is. And we're referred to as a credit cooperative. People might know us or be more familiar with terms such as credit unions, but effectively it means that we are a member-owned financial institution. So what that means is that we are regulated the same as all the big banks that people would be familiar with. The same regulations, the same rules apply to us as they do to the big four banks and other banks, but we're different in that we're owned by our members, we're not owned by shareholders. So what that means is that everyone that comes to bank with us has the opportunity to become a member. We certainly encourage that. And the members have to say in how the organisation is run. And the profits that we make go back into the business so to provide better products and services to our members and invest in the things that we need to sort of moving forwards. So this day and age, it's a fast moving industry. Members' demands are changing all the time. We need to keep investing back in the business, back in our people, back in our e-commerce, technology offerings, and even our branches and agencies as well. So as I said, that's the key difference, I guess, is that we are there for members. We don't have dividends to pay to shareholders, so we're not conflicted like a lot of the other institutions are. And as I say, we want to be everything to our members. That primary focus is the Australian Ukrainian community. We want to be seen as the organisation that is the first port of call, the first choice for that community. And our role from there is to make sure that we do all that we can for our members to be successful. You don't receive dividends as such yourself, so it's not like having shares in the share market where dividends are paid to you. The dividend really comes back in terms of those products and services. So we're very keen, and our key focus is around improving that range of products and services so that we meet people's changing needs, number one. And number two is making sure that those products and services are competitively priced. So it comes back to that value proposition around pricing, but supported by, and it's more than that, it's back to the service that we provide to members. So being a local community-based organisation, that means that when you talk to us, you're talking to people that care, people that have a heart, people that are empowered to make those decisions locally and provide those benefits back to you, and then back to the broader community. So we have a range of programs there that we support community events, community organisations, in particular to develop some new products. And there's really two key elements to it. One is it's a community access account for the community organisation, which gives them fee-free banking. The Community Saver account then is designed so that anyone can open one of those. They put some of their savings money in it. There's a combination of the various accounts that they've got. We pay a good rate of interest on the account, but also once a year we will pay an additional 1% to the nominated organisation. Right, so community organisations would open a community access account, they would register with us, and then if you came in and opened up a Community Saver account, you could nominate a particular organisation that would then receive that benefit sort of once a year. So we're looking for a win-win. We can grow our deposits, you get a good rate of return on your money, and also the community organisation benefits by receiving that payment once a year. So it's all about that partnership between member, customer, the organisation itself, and also the broader community. That prime focus, as we said, is around the Ukrainian community itself, but it's even more than that. We encourage those members to have their families banking with us, and then to have their friends banking with us, and even their associates banking with us, understanding that what our vision and our mission is, what it is that we want to achieve. We encourage everyone to come and share in that vision, that mission, and then we can all work together to the benefit of all of those members, but also the community more broadly. We have a lot of members, and we might have touched on this, I think you and I before, but certainly all around the country. We're working on ways we can talk about it a bit later in terms of how we're looking to service all of those members, because it's a big country, as you know. We have people across in Perth, Brisbane yourselves, obviously, Sydney, Melbourne, even back in my hometown of Tasmania too, back in Launceston and back in Hobart. So it's how we can reach all of those members effectively in this day and age, and encourage, as I say, all of those people and all their friends, families, associates to get on board, come along with us on the journey that we have, and be a part of that process. It's an organisation that has, because of that member ownership, it's got a real affinity with people. People really relate to that, and they understand that it's not just there to drive profits. It's not just there to give dividends back to shareholders, but it's there to provide value back to all of those stakeholders, all of those members, and the community more broadly. We also have various programs of sponsorship and support. So some examples of those are things such as there's Dollars for Scholars program, which is for people that are learning, the young children that are going to Ukrainian schools. Quite often it might be a Saturday or a Friday, for example. We provide a program there that encourage all of the schools to register with us, all of their students to also register, and we have a payment that goes both to the student and also to the school. So it's there to encourage children to attend the school, but B, to start thinking about banking and their own finances, how we can work together, and having payment going to both parties gives, again, a win-win all round that we're looking for. That's an important program. There's a newer program that we just established too that's very similar to Dollars for Scholars, and that supports particularly playgroups through the Matusha program you may be familiar with. That again provides a very similar arrangement, but even to, I guess, the younger children coming through, more sort of playgroups, that sort of thing, as a lead-in to those schools' programs, as the children get older. So it's those sorts of programs back to each of the Ramada support, and even each of the parishes that we support across the whole community, linking through there, even into sponsorship that is more targeted where events in particular arise, and we're happy to listen to proposals that people provide. Some examples are that when the Patriarch, you may be aware, came to Australia, I think 12-18 months ago, we certainly supported that program. We're working with the embassy in Canberra to also assist with migrants that will come out through the embassy into Australia, right from the outset. So we're looking at the moment at putting a program in place around that. So there's a whole raft of those sorts of community elements that we do provide support on. And as I say, we are open to, if there are other things that people have, other proposals, we're certainly open to listening to those to see how we can support. As I say, importantly also in the context of those community accounts that I mentioned before, the community accounts in particular, they really, I guess, emphasise the philosophy that we have around, as I said before, it's helping members, community and this organisation, how we can all work together. Because that one, so in particular, has got where more money that we put into their saver accounts, we grow our deposits, and the dividend that's paid off that towards those community organisations is also then allows those community organisations to have that flow of income coming through once a year. If those balances are maintained and grow, that source of funding will also grow. And then by us, with that deposit monies growing, we're again able to invest those monies back into the business, back into our lending programs and so on as well. So it's very much, I guess, I keep coming back to the point of how we can sort of work together under that mutual banner. First of all, wanting to understand your needs, and by doing that, we need to be talking to you. So what you'll find with us is, yes, we have online, yes, we have social media, we have all those sorts of things, but also we need to be talking to people. We have people that can certainly do that, face to face where there's a need. Certainly, as we said, online, certainly on the phone. We have people too that can assist, with language as well. So obviously, we have quite a few Ukrainian speakers and others that can certainly assist people too. From there, as I say, understanding your needs, we then, and I touched on it earlier, have a really good range of products and services. We're very much always benchmarking the pricing of those products to make sure they are very competitive in the marketplace. From there, it's then working with you, as I say, to put in place facilities that meet your needs. And as we do that, you know that you've got a point of contact, as I said before, not just electronically, but you can pick up the phone and talk to someone. And it'll be the same person too. You'll get to know the teams, you'll get to know the people. You're not ringing into a bigger centre where you become maybe more of a number. You can get lost in the process. Also too, being a smaller institution, this is the head office where I'm sitting here now. This is where the decisions are made. Be it your loan application, be it any other matter. All of our functions are centralised in this office through here. And as I alluded to, much the same as the bigger organisations, our board meetings that can be here. making our lending decisions here, all of our funds management, all of our reporting and so on. So you know, that local decision making is timely. So I guess the key, if you like, around that value proposition for us is take it as a granted that we've got good products and services that are really well priced, but it's the other elements too. It's being able to talk to someone that will listen to what your needs are, someone will make sure it gets put in place right. If you have any concerns, something else arises, ring us and we'll get it sorted. So people are empowered, people can make those decisions. And that's really where value comes in. I think too, that gets lost until someone really needs to achieve something, to have some issue rectified. It's only when you start to try and find a point of contact, someone that you know, someone that's got a name that you recognise and a voice that you recognise and actually gets the things done for you. That's where the real value comes in. And then when you overlay, we mentioned before about value for members, but also community and that partnership that we engender, is really what makes us different. As I said before, the money that we make, and like any business, we have to make sure that we are making a profit because we have to invest back in the business and the programs that we mentioned before. But it's not going out to shareholders, and that I think is where a lot of the bigger organisations then become conflicted as to the different needs of shareholders as opposed to their customers, their members. We don't have that conflict. We don't pay dividends out to these investors. We put it back into you, we put it back into the community. So that's a process that we will go through. So we work with you to meet your needs. You mentioned the home loan application for you and the ancillary services that will go with that. So your transaction accounts, your online banking, your card, overseas funds, all those sort of things we can do for you and establish those for you. Insurances, etc. So we have that really broad range of products. On the business side, we offer very similar arrangements again. So your business would need to have transaction accounts, electronic banking, be able to do funds transfers. It might require finance, be it sort of working capital finance, shorter term finance, or business loans. We can certainly do all of those. Well, please go to the website, dnister.com.au, and we'll soon be in touch with you from there. I might just mention too, and if I could, that we have someone here particularly that's her role as a community liaison person, which is Sasha. You know Sasha Veschenko, and she can be contacted through that number as well as myself and the whole team here. But Sasha's role particularly is liaising back with community groups in those different regions.